One of the textures that we've always enjoyed over the years and has been a popular one is this bamboo texture. It does a really nice job of emulating bamboo poles positioned next to each other, and lots of neat things that you can do with it, particularly as kind of a background texture on signs or various types of graphics, that sort of thing. So we've always sort of been fascinated with another type of thing that is popular, particularly in sort of rustic furniture, which is called a peeled pole element that can be created as wainscoting or for the background of a headboard, that sort of thing. It's used quite a bit in furniture, and so this peeled pole concept is something that's sort of fascinated us. So what we've done is we've created a peeled pole texture that is similar to the bamboo texture in the fact that it sort of emulates kind of these linear pole type elements placed next to each other, and could serve as a nice background for various types of graphics. But it's something that is a real thing, particularly in this rustic furniture world, and so something that really could have a nice sort of Western appeal, that sort of thing. So anyway, I've got some parameters defined here, and I'll create a peeled pole texture. Okay, so here you see what the result of that is with you can see sort of the relationship to the bamboo in terms of kind of the general effect, but here you get much more variation in the shapes. And so a peeled pole is created in real life by using what's called a draw knife that's drawn over a round branch to peel the bark off of the branch. And so you get this sort of faceting effect by using that draw knife. And one of the things that's kind of neat about this is you see the different radiuses, different sizes to the poles that can be introduced, the amount of texture that you can get, the faceting that you can get, can all be controlled in the texture itself. So I'm not going to go over all of the parameters, but if I back up here and get in, you can see that I can define the number of facets in the peel, the general size of the pole, the diameter, the length of the peel, meaning how much variation sort of along the pole that you get, and then you can introduce some meander into it if you want the poles to have some amount of variation as they go up. So if you see that I'm editing the amount of meander here, you can see I can have the poles kind of wander a little bit and not be quite as straight along the length, and so that's kind of a fun thing. Then there's other factors here. I can apply a cellular texture. One of the things that we sort of figured out is that adding a light cellular texture to the end result gives you a kind of a more of an interesting sort of realistic looking result, and so you have the ability to add that to your texture. You can make it half round, meaning that you sort of have a full half round of the poles, or if you uncheck that, then it's more of a quarter round. So that first one that I created was a quarter round, and here I can increase the facets. I can turn off the cellular. There's lots of really interesting things I can do. Of course, you can define a specific height if you want the surface to be scaled down to a certain height for a certain thickness of material, and so that's an option also. And so if I click apply, so I've turned off cellular here, and so I'm going to get variation, but there's going to be less of a sort of a surface texture applied and more of just the peeled effect. So here you can see the effect that I get there. You can see more of just the straight faceting effect that I get based on the number of facets that I've defined. You still get quite a bit of variation in the pole diameter, and again, that's something you can control in the texture. And so I can come in here and I can tell it to make it a uniform width, and so there I'll get a more of a uniform diameter to the poles, and so there's really a lot of control you have over the kind of the total effect that you get Personally, I think adding a little bit of cellular texture makes the thing more interesting. And so anyway, this is a fun one that will be fun for us to experiment with and fun hopefully for our users to experiment with, and that's the peeled pole texture.